Hello, you are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. Happy Wednesday. I'm so glad you're joining me here today because this show is all about success and in a true sense of success in all areas of our lives. In our society, we place so much focus and attention to develop ourselves intellectually. So this is really a one-sided approach because we ignore all the rest of our parts, like our psychological development, our emotional, our spiritual. So this is the places in ourselves, if looked at and developed and paid attention in the same way as we pay attention to our development of our intellect, is a powerhouse. It is opening our full potential. So today I decided to talk about it just last minute because I posted something on my personal profile about inner feelings, and the inner feelings can be experienced when we have the feelings, when we allow our feelings. But there was a few comments about that people have trouble to accept the concept of feelings. They've been taught all their lives that use your mind, use your brain, use your intellect. So today I decided that I maybe jump from what I was planning to talk about a few days ago onto discussing with you these faculties, these places within ourselves that are most likely behind the development and growth that we experiencing everywhere in our society about our mental and intellectual growth and development. So mostly what we ignoring the fact that we are very relational beings. We relate to the world from the place of that relational objects from childhood. So we create the outlook on the world from that place of that belief that we formed as children. And it can be very limited, and it can be erroneous as well. So by actually driving our life from that relational place of the childhood, we then become crippled in our life, and we not using all the other faculties that we are naturally given. We have this inbuilt system of biological, also energetic, and all of the other faculties that are working together as an open system. The open system mean that we are having this censorship. We're moving through the space with this device, a human body that is having and receiving the energetic and emotional and psychological and physical sensations. And sometimes we don't have explanation. In one day, we feel like we're very bright and we're very energetic. Another day, we fallen into the place of tiredness and wherever we experiencing not so well. And sometimes we don't recognize that we picking up all of these vibrations and frequency from the outside space, that because we are so relational and we in constant relationship with ourselves, with others, and with our environment. So when we are blocking our system, so we basically limiting our system to have all of this information and have all of these sensory device that we all hold within. I know we bombarded a lot with all of this information from outside of us, and we need to have strong discernment of how we go about it, how we receive it, or how we block it, or what do we do with this. I just want to tell you one little sharing what I learned some years ago about experiment that I believe it was from Bruce Lipton. He was a founder of the HeartMath Institute. And they've been doing a very interesting experiments about the heart and how they've been making this statistical data about how and what our heart is actually doing. So they been making these experiments with thousands of people, and they have a very solid statistical data about the heart function and the brain function. So what they've done, they would put number of people, 10, 20 or 30, in the front of the screen, and they would wire up these people with measuring the vibration or the response of the heart and the brain at the same time. And they've been controlling what they're going to show on a screen. And through all of this number, thousands of the experiments, they've been amazed. They found that data that the heart started to be responding to the picture or to the event that's going to be displayed in the screen before even the picture would appear on a screen. So, and if the picture is going to be displayed, displayed a harmony or beauty, like, you know, sunrise or sunset or some natural landscapes, they found that the heart, before even the picture appeared, would respond in a very harmonious resonance. Whereas if the picture would be of distraction, of some sort of aggressiveness, or some sort of distracted and highly negatively emotional picture, well, the heart would actually be out of the resonance. It will be beating and showing response in a very anxious way, I would say. And whereas the mind would only start to respond when the visual sensation will be sending signs from the visual sensation. So basically the brain is some milliseconds behind the heart of already knowing what's gonna to be displayed, and the reaction of the heart is already there. So that was displayed for many thousands of the experiments, and the data was collected from that experiment, and it was presented to people. And I think the HeartMath Institute is still exists, and they doing amazing things. It's available. You can Google it. But that experience was many years ago, and so we know that our heart is the organ that not only having biological function, it has this navigation properties. It has this sensory abilities to actually to show us, to warn us, or to place us in a space where we know exactly what's going to happen or what's happening. And for me, when we have this sense of intuition, or whatever we call it, it's our heart picking up information, and then we can employ our mind to read these sensations and have clarity what it is. We don't know how to do that yet. I think we are now in the stage of our development when we asking all of these questions, when we searching for the answers, when then the scientists start to really realize that it's not only the pieces of our biological organs that are doing some, physical support for our body. It has also its own consciousness, and it has also its own abilities to work together with each other. So what I also noticed is that there's an intra-exchange constantly happening between the heart feeling of what is outside of us or within ourselves, and then involve our mind into that inter-exchangeable dynamics, so that we can utilize all of it in a much more beneficial way for us. But of course, because we are been taught and we've been trained in most of our educational institutions at school, within our families, we kind of busy of developing our intellect, and we often suppressing what our hearts are feeling, and we then become really habitual in terms of how we perceive what the situation is just right in front of us. So I just would like to share with you another interesting my own experience with that. And what I also noticed, that a lot of people start to open up their system only when they are in a time of crisis, or in time of some pain, in time of discord or some diseases or something dramatic happening, when people are just hitting the wall and they don't know what to do. They are in a space of unknown, and that's where they more willing to start to look at different possibilities and involve their own navigation system. So I already talked to you about that. I was myself in a deep crisis some years ago, and I was in a cancerous journey, and I purchased the property based fully on my feelings. I was not intellectually understood why I have these very strong feelings pulling me towards this decision. I didn't make that decision yet. I was suppressing this feeling, which was so strong. But then, of course, I give in into that, and I trusted the feeling. And my mind then decided that I'm gonna to trust that, and I'm gonna to go and do what really logically seems like not logical. So and when I purchased the property, I decided that I really would like to know what is here on this land, and I wanted to know it, not only just going around and looking at places, at some paddocks and the lake and the forest. I wanted to know on a deeper level of what energetically is here, and I employed a eco energy environmentalist that was measuring electromagnetic field of this property, and he created a big comprehensive map for me with all of these geomagnetic currents and spots and points and electromagnetic fields, with all the measurements that he could put in there and analyzed through his devices and the methods that he was using. And he found a very, very significant spot that was vibrating in the highest level of this of the healthy immune system of the human beings. And I didn't know back then, but when he told me about that, I have this significant spot, which I called then bucket spot, because it was in the middle. It is in the middle of the paddock, and every time I would go there, I take a bucket to sit on it. And I was sitting one day on that bucket, and I was almost in a state of the meditative state. And I could feel presence. I believe that this is my heart was feeling some presence. I mean, my mind knew, well, how anyone could be present here? It's a paddock. There's no one around. And so I opened my eyes to actually confirm to my mind that, of course, there's no one. But every time I would close my eyes, I would just feel very, very, very strong presence. And I decided that I'm gonna to allow that presence to be with me. And that presence was really pleasurable. It was really amazing. It was very soft and very gentle, and it was very loving. And I didn't know what it is. But then when I was just allowing this process to be with me, then there's intra-exchange happening with my feeling and the mind just told me one word: Dalai Lama. I was just completely shocked, because I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not following any particular religion. I respect them all, but I didn't know how to cope with this, what to do with this. I just laughed. I basically judged myself and was just saying, what is silly and stupid, whatever. We always so quick to judge. And when I finished, meditation there, I just took a bucket and I went back home. But the presence and experience of that was so strong that I actually was curious about it. And I went on Google and I started to search Dalai Lama. And of course, we know that he's an ambassador of peace. He's visiting countries and giving talks and things like that. And that when I was doing it, it was back in 2012. But what I was reading, that Dalai Lama is visiting Australia in 2013, basically in 5 months from what I was sitting on my spot. And he would visit South Australia and the Kangaroo Island, which is very close to where I live. And that road for him to go to this Kangaroo Island is basically very close to my property. I was amazed to see how that information, without me absolutely not having any idea, but I decided to take a step, to take an action, to really just look at these feelings. And I found all of this information, and it was amazing. Like, I thought to myself, oh my God, he's going to be here very close. What if I contact him? And then the mind straight away jumped in and said, well, who you are? Contact Dalai Lama. And why would you do that? So basically, I kind of dropped that idea, but the feeling was so strong. And I write letter to Dalai Lama saying that, I bought the property. I know this is have some significance because it is for the benefit of many. And I would really appreciate if you can come and visit and bless this place. So just like, as a child, I was just thinking, okay, I'll write that letter. And without even knowing how I'm going to actually send it, whom and where, because on the website and all these publicly available places about Dalai Lama, there's no contacts. There's really is not really a contact there where I can actually reach him. So, and I wrote the letter and I kind of forget about it. And in a few weeks' time, I went to meet with my friend that she is a lecturer at university. And she was talking about her supervisor, that he is just so busy with preparation with preparation of the Buddha house here in South Australia for the visit of the Dalai Lama. And I was like, wow, that seems like, something that I can maybe ask a question. And I just asked her, look, I wrote letter, but I don't know how to pass it on to Dalai Lama. And your supervisor is a Buddhist, and he seems like really excited about his visit here, and possibly he can help me to pass that letter to him. So and she was laughing about it. She was start to judge that as well. And then I said, well, maybe you just ask it. We're not losing anything. So, and then I forgot about it. And then in a few days' time, she calls me. She said, I've asked him, and he said, well, he's not promising anything, but he said that I can email to him that letter. And basically, that's what I did. I emailed this letter, and I completely forgot. I disattached from this idea because I kind of thought that I've done everything. I've done everything that I could act on my feelings. And regardless of the result, if the result will be that I'm, if he visit my place, or maybe this completely nothing and no one will pay attention to it, it was really doesn't matter for me. So, and I forgot about it. And after 3 months of sending that letter, I received reply back from the people that are close to Dalai Lama, and they've been saying to me that they glad to hear that people are, buying properties, they build in places that could help many people, and he would be happy to visit my place, but unfortunately, because the program and the safety measures are in place long before his travel arrangements, they cannot, of course, allow him to just go off route and come and visit my property. But he would like to invite me to a very private gathering with him on one of the days that he's here in South Australia. So I received a invitation ticket for a gathering with Dalai Lama, only with about 50 people. So that's how we sometimes not looking at how our feelings can actually guide us, and our actions based on that feelings can also give us a new opportunity or give us a new chance. And also this attachment or non-attachment to that is really an important point. So that's my kind of sharing with you today. But what I feel every day that we live in on a daily basis with these hard feelings, and most of the time we kind of override it with our intellect, and we always having this good or bad, right and wrong, correct or not correct, and then we override the navigation system, the full potential that we actually can utilize in our life if we just give a little bit of space and time for these feelings to ripen up within ourselves, and allow our mind to scan and read that information. And of course, it is possibly practice. I don't know. For me, that was spontaneous, but I now know that for me, it is a practice as well as training our muscles. We train in our ability to utilize all the inner resources and potential that we all hold within ourselves. So today I would like to recommend for you 3 points how you can start to also involve and utilize your inner resources in your daily life. as we all know, and you experienced yourself, I'm sure many times when you think about someone they call, or when you have some meeting and you feel that there's something not right for me to meet these people, or something is not particularly resonating with that meeting. I wait until the last minute, and these people mostly canceling themselves, because my intention of not really fully connecting to that particular experience in my life is really not connected to the whole faculties of me, right? And because we are vibrational, we also affecting others through the field about our intentions. So the 3 points I would like to point for you today and invite to start to practice within your daily life is that recognize your feelings, regardless of what they are. Because when we are out of our comfort zone, or out of or in discomfort, or in pain, or in some sort of suffering, we're so quick to disregard these feelings. We want to take us out very quickly into the positive and pleasurable feelings. But if we stay a little bit longer with these feelings, and also we make decision that we're not judging them, we're not jumping off these feelings, and instead we ask ourselves, am I responding to the presence, or what is this I'm feeling? You just ask that question, what is this I'm feeling? And then we have this mechanism of either respond or react. So then we need to ask ourselves questions like, am I responding right now to this present situation, or I am reacting in exaggerated way? So when we start to train ourselves in these questions, we very quickly would find how we still hold this childhood patterning and all this defensive survival mechanism that we still automatically out of our awareness using. But I think it's time to start to have our awareness a bit more building up this awareness and start to use it to our benefit, because that material of that pattern is actually not so far away from that conscious level, and we can make that decision. So the third one is, through our discernment, you need to decide if you act on your feelings or you don't act on your feelings. So this is really what I wanted to share with you today. And I would like to invite you to build that bridge between your heart and your mind, because the inter-exchange is happening automatically anyway. But we need to start to learn and have the awareness of these dynamics that going on within ourselves. And also, if you somehow feel stressed, or if you feel out of balance, if you are in some sort of crisis, or in some place where you feel, very stressed or anxious and worry, or something happened just recently, or even, a couple of hours ago, I have this free offer for you, how quickly you can take yourself and shift your mindset from that worry and from that place of recycling negative thoughts into the place of the unlimited possibilities, into the place of what could exist in that situation, in that moment. So you can download that very fast 5-minute exercise from that link that is going right now down in my screen. And also would like to go and into the comments and see how you've been also interrupting with me, which I didn't pay attention before, because I really wanted to just tell you everything that I was coming to me. MJ, thank you for being here, and Vicky, thank you. Adil, well, thank you for being here. Yes, interesting experiment. Absolutely. That experiment was very interesting. And it is still that the Heart Math Institute is doing amazing things. Vicky is saying interesting. Yes. So we don't know a lot. And right now we are in the age where we molding our curiosity into the future. We want to know, and so that's really is like we want to start to understand our full potential, and this is really a work of our individual selves and also collective work that we can do. So yeah, Vicky saying, yeah, wow, that is cool, so cool. Bucket spot. Yes, it used to be a bucket spot because I used to sit on a bucket there, but then later on in 2013 I built by recommendation of this eco energy environmentalist a paramagnetic tower on that spot that is about 4.5 meters, big construction that is actually works like an amplifier of this energy and sending to all the property, not only having it in a very particular specific spot. So it's a paramagnetic tower spot now. So yes, Dalai Lama, that was interesting experience for me, and it is an experience of almost like completely crumbling my my old belief in only believing what I can see, what I can feel, what I can touch. So this experience for me also brought for me these other possibilities and other feeling sensory system that we all have, and trusted as well. So that was yes. How cool is that? So communicating with the unseen intelligence. Yes. Very often we don't we even if we recognize, we don't give it a chance for our intelligence, for our system to actually know what it is. We very quick to jump into the judgments, or we very quick to jump into what our mind is actually telling us. But I guess when we allow that, when I would say we drop our mind and allow the intelligence of our senses and interrelationship between heart and the brain to reveal to us, well, it's a mind-blowing information. So, yes. So it is a beautiful story, and I still remember the time when I was within the group of people talking for about 2 hours. We've been in the presence of Dalai Lama, and I came to him and I introduced myself and I said, you know, I wrote a letter about the property that I bought and I really wanted you to bless it. And he said, oh, that's them. This is them that always constantly are controlling me, where I go and what I do. Well, next time I will come and bless it, he said to me. So that was a very joyful evening. Thank you for sharing your experience, Adil. Thank you for watching and being here. So yes, thank you so much, guys. You here, and you are my heroes, and I am taking risk every week on Wednesday to be in the front of you and give you some information and experience and knowledge and tools and methods and motivation for you to start to love yourself more and start to tap into these inner faculties or higher faculties that you have within yourself. Well, thank you so much. And I would like to just say goodbye to you. And I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time with another topic, with the ones that I probably was planning to do today, or maybe some other topic. I will go with my feelings. Thank you so much and love yourself.